Have you ever played a video game with amazing graphics but found it to be boring and unenjoyable? On the other hand, have you ever played a video game with simple graphics but found it to be incredibly fun and engaging? Good games are often associated with realistic graphics, but I've found that one of the most immersive games I've ever played is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This game doesn't have insane graphics, but I was fully invested in the story. I dove deep into the characters and explored every piece of Hyrule. What exactly made this game so immersive for me? The answer to that is partially personal, but I think there are some elements that objectively define how enjoyable a game is, besides graphics. In recent years, AAA Studios have become increasingly focused on realistic graphics, rather than a distinct art style that separates it from the rest. While some of these games look visually stunning, they can also start to look the same after a while. It's as if these studios are more concerned with pushing the boundaries of what's technically possible and creating games with their own unique visual identity. This trend is likely due to a number of factors, including the increasing power of gaming hardware, the growing popularity of photorealistic graphics, and a desire of AAA studios to compete with each other in terms of technical prowess. Nowadays, it's almost expected for a AAA video game to have ultra-realistic graphics. Viewers and players alike tend to be very harsh on new games that don't have the latest and greatest graphics. This creates the problem that those studios don't dare to innovate and make their graphics stand out. Let's compare Assassin's Creed Unity and Mirage. Between the release of these games, 9 years have passed. This temporal distance should theoretically have provided enough room for both technological advancements and creative innovation to breathe new life into the game's experience. Surprisingly though, it's hard to ignore the striking similarity in their visual aesthetics. Indeed, while advancements in hardware have allowed for more detailed textures and incredibly realistic lighting effects, the question that lingers is whether these improvements genuinely translate to a deeper sense of immersion for the player. Herein lies the challenge that modern game developers face. While the visual improvements between those two games are evident, the real question is whether they've made strides in other equally essential areas. As the story is steadily evolved, allowing players to forge a deeper connection with the narrative and characters, are the gaming mechanics more refined, enabling a more immersive interaction with the virtual world? Is there an enhanced sense of player agency and choice that heightens the emotional investment in the gameplay? Many games these days are starting to feel shallow and uninspired. Pursuit of realistic graphics is also leading to another problem. It's making AAA games more expensive to develop. This is because studios are spending more and more money on graphics technology, and this is driving up the cost of game development. As a result, games are also becoming increasingly expensive to purchase, and this is making them less accessible to a wider audience. It's time for studios to start thinking differently about graphics. Instead of focusing on realism, they should focus on creating games with their own unique visual identity. This doesn't mean that games can't have good graphics, but it does mean that this shouldn't be the only focus. Studios should be more willing to experiment with different art styles and visual techniques. This would lead to more creative and innovative games. Gamers are also need to be more open to games with different art styles. We need to be more supportive of games that are visually unique, even if they don't have the most realistic graphics. By doing this, we can help to create a more diverse, visually appealing gaming landscape for everyone. Here's where the concept of art direction comes into play, serving as a transformative force that shapes a game's overall look and feel. Art direction is a powerful aspect of game design that can redefine and elevate the gaming experience. To join in again on BattleBit, a game that boldly diverges from the realism craze and embraces a stylized, visually distinctive world. Its striking and unconventional art style isn't just eye-catching, it's an integral part of the game's identity. Players, instead of scrutinizing minor details, become fully immersed in the captivating and unconventional world of war, enriching the overall experience. If we look at the last 3 months, BattleBit, an indie game with Roblox-like graphics, has steadily more players than Battlefield 2042, a visually stunning AAA game. This proves that art direction plays a bigger role than simply graphics. Now, let's delve into some iconic games that have harnessed the potential of art direction to carve a unique identity. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is a prime example. This game, released in 2017, not only redefined the open world genre, but also stands as a shining example of how art direction can elevate a gaming experience. The most striking aspect of the game's art direction is its use of a cel-shaded, painted style. This departure from photorealistic graphics was a conscious choice by the developers, and it paid off remarkably. Cel shading technique is reminiscent of traditional animation, where characters and environments have bold outlines and distinct, vibrant colors. This design was groundbreaking for the franchise, as previous Zelda titles had primarily adhered to a more conventional and detailed visual style. Breath of the Wild makes for an enchanting and timeless adventure. Furthermore, this unique art direction allows Breath of the Wild to sidestep the limitations of aging hardware. By not chasing photorealism, the game maintains its visual appeal throughout the years, ensuring that it continues to captivate players, even as technology advances. It's this timelessness that distinguishes Breath of the Wild from the ever-evolving trend of hyper-realistic graphics. Cel-shaded art direction also has a profound impact on character design. Link, the series' iconic protagonist, is reimagined with a design that strikes a perfect balance between the classic and the contemporary. This fresh approach breathes new life into the character while preserving the essence of the hero players have known and loved for decades. Far Cry 3 transports players to a lush and exotic tropical paradise, an island in the South Pacific. What's immediately noticeable is the rich, vibrant color palette used throughout the game. The developers choose to infuse the game world with a spectrum of colors, from the deep greens of the dense jungles to the striking blues of the crystal clear waters surrounding the island. This choice creates a visual feast for players and sets the game apart from many other shooters, which often gravitate towards grittier, monochromatic aesthetics. The island's visual distinctiveness also extends to its human inhabitants. The characters in Far Cry 3 are not cookie-cutter stereotypes, but are as diverse and vivid as the island itself. The artistic choices in character design, from the charismatic yet menacing antagonist Vaz to the eclectic cast of supporting characters, enhance the storytelling and player immersion. In the realm of immersive storytelling, Bioshock, released in 2007, stands as a masterpiece. The game takes place in the dystopian underwater city of Rapture. The game's art direction is nothing short of extraordinary, as it brilliantly blends elements of the past and future. At the heart of this artistic choice is the Art Deco aesthetic, a design style that thrived in the early 20th century and represents a unique fusion of modernist art, intricate geometric patterns, and opulent materials. The use of Art Deco in Bioshock serves as a narrative and atmospheric device, not just a visual decision. It envelops players in the mysterious and immersive world of Rapture, instantly immersing them in a city that time forgot. The architecture, the decor, and the overall visual language all give off a sense of glory and decay, which makes Bioshock both breathtaking and haunting at the same time. The design details serve as subtle hints to Rapture's history and the ideologies that led to its downfall. Furthermore, the art direction plays a pivotal role in character design. Iconic characters, such as the Big Daddies and Little Sisters, are not only visually striking, but are deeply intertwined with the Art Deco design philosophy. And then there's Hollow Knight. This 2D action-adventure game is a testament to the incredibly potential of hand-drawn art and how it can transform a game's world into a character in its own right. The hand-drawn approach distinguishes it from the abundance of pixel art and vector graphics typically found in similar indie games, setting it apart in a crowded market. The game's art style is instrumental in shaping the world of Hallownest, the dark and mysterious setting in which the game unfolds. Every inch of the world is meticulously crafted with intricate details and a profound sense of ambience. From the somber, intricate caverns to the mysterious and atmospheric forests, the art direction creates an environment that feels as though it's breathing with life. The hand-drawn visuals create a visual narrative that runs parallel to the game's main storyline. The environments, the creatures, and the architecture all tell a silent but compelling story of a world that's fallen into darkness, and it's up to the player to uncover its secrets. The protagonist, the knight, with its minimalistic yet expressive design, becomes an instantly recognizable and relatable figure in the player's journey. Art direction is not just about aesthetics. It can also have a substantial impact on the cost of game development, making it an attractive choice for both developers and players. The pursuit of hyper-realistic graphics can be a resource-intensive endeavor. Achieving photorealism often requires cutting-edge technology, expensive software, and large teams of artists and developers. This not only leads to a significant increase in production costs, but also results in longer development cycles. On the contrary, art direction provides a cost-effective alternative. It doesn't demand the same level of technical complexity and doesn't rely on the constant chase for graphical fidelity. With a clear artistic vision and style, smaller teams and indie studios can allocate resources more efficiently, focusing on creativity and storytelling, rather than pouring money into ever-evolving graphical technologies. This also has the advantage that these studios can produce games that stand out in the crowded gaming landscape. Moreover, the cost-effectiveness of art direction benefits players as well. Smaller development budgets often translate into more affordable game prices, making unique and memorable experience accessible to a wider audience. This affordability ensures that gamers aren't limited to just blockbuster titles with multi-million-dollar budgets, but can also explore the diverse and imaginative worlds created by indie developers. In addition to cost savings, art direction also extends the shelf life of games. Unlike hyper-realistic graphics, which can become quickly outdated as technology advances, unique and artistic styles tend to remain relevant and visually striking over time. This durability ensures that players can revisit and enjoy games with timeless art direction, even years after their release. In the fast-paced world of gaming, it's easy to get caught up in the race for hyper-realistic graphics. But as we've explored in this video, there's a lot more to the art of game design than pixels and polygons. Art direction, gameplay, and level design are the hidden gems that breathe life into our favorite virtual worlds. These elements are the ones that keep us coming back for more, the ones that turn a mere game into an unforgettable experience. So, as you embark on your gaming adventures, remember that it's not just about how a game looks, but also how it feels, how it challenges you, and how it immerses you in its world. Whether it's the timeless art direction of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the masterful level design of Portal, or the precise gameplay of Super Mario Bros., these are the elements that truly matter. And as technology continues to advance, let's not forget the timeless value of creative art direction, immersive gameplay, and thoughtful level design. They are the essence of what makes gaming an art form, a source of endless joy and a realm of endless adventures. So, keep exploring, keep playing, and keep appreciating the countless ways in which video games continue to evolve, innovate, and inspire. And most importantly, keep having fun, because in the end, that's what truly matters in the world of gaming. Thank you for joining me, and until next time.